Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. My friends, I hope the day finds you well, or at least better than me. I've messed my back up so good that I can't even stand up to be on camera right now. So I'm gonna take a seat and talk to you guys all about the new Secret Lair bonus cards that have been revealed. So we're gonna start out with the sketch cards from the Artist series, all right? So the first one we have is the sketch version of the Hunt Master of the Fells, and this is from the Chris Ron Secret Lair. Now, Hunt Master of the Fells is a beef boy, right? 4 mana gets you that 2/2. When it shows up on the battlefield or transforms to the other side, you get a 2/2 green wolf creature token and gain 2 life, right? So he flips back and forth. The other side is nutty as well, but we don't have the image for that. It will just be a sketch version of the other side. Now, these sketch ones are hit or miss, right? If you're somebody who's not that much into it, then you might not like the sketch art. But the bonus is that you get 2 copies of a really good card in the Secret Lair. So even if you don't like the sketch aspect, you're not really losing out. And honestly, out of the sketch cards we're looking at today, Olivia Mobilized for War is most assuredly the most exciting looking one. It doesn't have the same kind of faded out sketch vibe to it. It's got it pretty much, even though it is just a sketch, looks to me like a completed comic strip or something, right? It's got really solid vibes to it in terms of the artwork, and I do love the Olivia and Soren setup. This is from the Secret Lair made by Livia Prima, where all of the artwork shows a character from Magic with someone from their past shown in the background and really striking artwork. It's an amazing Secret Lair. And Olivia Mobilized for War is a pretty solid card as well, right? It's only 3 mana for a 3/3 flyer. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can discard a card if you want to. And if you do, you get to slap a +1/+1 counter on the creature. It gets haste and becomes a vampire. And I really like the addition of the vampire part of it because it opens up gameplay options, but also is massively flavorful as well, right? The idea of she basically brings them in, sinks her teeth into them, drains a bit of their blood, feeds some of her blood into them, giving them vampirism, and at the same time also rejuvenating them, right? If you've ever watched a movie about vampires or something like that, they drain the blood and they have all that energy and power. So the +1/+1 counter and haste from vampirism, this is an incredibly well-designed card from pretty much every perspective, right? I mean, Olivia literally is mobilized here, and she is mobilizing others. So very, very solid choice for the bonus card. And then the third sketch card that we have to look at is Elspeth Knight Errant, another really solid choice. 4 mana for a 4 loyalty planeswalker that makes 1/1 white soldier tokens. It creates a +3/+3 bonus and flying on a creature if you want to. That one, I remember when I first saw it and was just like, how big a deal is that? It's really going to be the making the 1/1s that matters. But then I was surprised at how frequently just throwing one of those little 1/1s up in the air and turning it into a 4/4 angel for the punch smash was really formidable. And then you have the ultimate ability that says you get an emblem with artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and lands you control have indestructible. That is one of the best feeling emblems out there, right? There are certain emblems that have a feeling of inevitability, but a lot of the inevitability will be whenever you cast a spell, your opponent loses 2 life. It's a bunch of negatives towards your opponent, whereas this is just such a huge, overwhelming bonus to yourself. And take it from me, when your opponent sets off this ultimate, your heart sinks. It's like, okay, so how am I gonna get rid of your permanence? I mean, the creatures with indestructible is the biggest sticking point, but it gets gross in a number of different ways. And I've been on the other end of it with my cube, where I've set off that ultimate, and man, does it feel amazing using crappy little 0/1 plant tokens to go, oh yeah, I know that giant creature you're swinging with that doesn't have trample? Yeah, I'll put this little plant in it. And your guy can't even trample it underfoot because Elspeth has infused it with protective magic. That is really sweet. And if I didn't already say, this sketch card is from the Vulcan Baga secret lair. All right, moving on. Now we're going to talk about the Tokyo secret lair. Now, the Tokyo secret lair is actually bringing back bonus cards that I'm not really a fan of. And that would be the secret lair, not secret lair, sorry, what was it? The original Jumpstart, like the good first Jumpstart, had special lands, right? In this case, you're looking at the Spooky Swamp. So they made special lands for each of the different Jumpstart kits. And with this Tokyo land set, what they're doing is they're actually bringing those back. But instead of previous secret lairs, I think, I could be wrong, but I think they're discontinuing putting these basic lands in all kinds of different secret lairs, and going forwards, I think they're only going to put them into land-based secret lairs. This is the right place for this. There will always be, I did see some people complaining on Reddit about these being included, and it's kind of a double-edged sword, because people who are complaining about these being included are probably just a holdover from before, where Wizards including them really felt like a huge letdown in terms of secret lair bonuses. We had the stained glass planeswalkers and other amazingness, and then we got flooded with Jumpstart basics. And I know how bad it feels to open a secret lair and just get one of those lands. They genuinely don't feel special. I've had it happen to me multiple times. I know it firsthand. Now, when it comes to this scenario, however, you're buying a secret lair that's based on lands, and thus the chance of you being somebody who will appreciate rare special lands goes up dramatically. It's pretty hard to argue that somebody who's willing to spend money buying a set of just 5 basic lands, one of each, would not find appreciation with another bonus land. And actually, with this one, you can get the spooky one. There's also reports of the goblin land being available, so it looks like instead of just scattershotting them across the secret lairs, they're going to put a variety of them into the land secret lairs. And this is a huge step forward in terms of improving secret lairs. But on a sad note, this secret lair that this swamp actually comes from, the Tokyo lands in this one were actively ruined. Like, there is a bunch of grittiness to these lands. Now, I haven't seen a ton of problems with secret lairs, but there definitely have been some. In fact, I have a secret lair. It was one of the Signet secret lairs, and it's like got this weird kind of blurriness to it. So the secret lairs are not without flaws, but in terms of these lands being included, this is not a bad choice, right? Moving on, let's talk about the bonus card that is included in the Kellogg's Loop secret lair, and this is, I believe, one of the options. When it comes to things like this sliver, I think you can pull multiple different things. I think the Kellogg's Loop has about 5 or 6 different options, but this is the new one that people haven't seen before in any of the other secret lairs, and honestly, this is one of the sweeter slivers. Take a look at what it does. 1 green and 1/1/1, sliver creatures you control get +1/+1. So this is part of the new breed of slivers. Original slivers gave their bonuses to everybody, but new age slivers say, nah son, I ain't interested in sharing these bonuses. They're just for me. And that's more my style. I never really liked slivers because I never wanted to run into another sliver player and give him all of my abilities. But I definitely like slivers for their Voltron-esque, let's slap everything together until we have an insane squad of weird creatures that all have a million abilities. Like, that is a super feel good. And actually, if you didn't know, slivers were originally meant to be fragments of a god being. I actually did a video talking about the story origin of slivers and what they were originally supposed to be on this channel. So I'll link it at the end of the video for you. But this is an excellent choice as a secret lair bonus card. And I know the video is all about secret lair bonus cards, but I saw an uncard that I have to toss in to talk about, guys. It's Urza's Funhouse. It's just too much fun to ignore, right? It's crazy. It taps for a colorless mana, or it taps for infinite mana, activate only once, and only if you control an Urza's Mine, Urza's Power Plant, and an Urza's Tower. This is a fun callback to the original 3 Urza's lands that you would need, and if you had all 3 out, you'd be able to generate 7 mana. But on top of that, they made a land in this set that actually counts as all 3 of those Urza's lands. So if you get this land and that other land together, and that other land's just an uncommon, so it shouldn't be too difficult to make it happen in a limited environment, right? If you get those both together, you can tap for infinite mana, but only once, right? So that mana will go to your pool if you attack or do anything else. It's really neat, but way more exciting is the bottom ability. 7 mana, head to askurza.com and click Urza's Funhouse. Now, at this time, there is nothing for Urza's Funhouse up on the website. I went over there. If you want to see the D Knievel flip, now I know how it works. You put the card over at the edge of the board and flip it over a pile of creatures in the middle. It's actually a goofy little mini game. But once they post this up, it should work the same way as Urza's Head, where you will pay 7 mana, tap it, and it will generate a random effect. This is something I will absolutely put into my cube. Are you kidding me? Big dumb effects. The 7 mana effects are probably going to be off the charts. But that wraps this up. I'm going to go lay down for my poor back. Thanks for coming by. Big shout out to all my patrons for supporting an old wizard whose bones hurt. And I will see all of you, my friends, in the next video, or possibly in a live stream here tonight, or on my other YouTube channel, Hatcher. Have a good one.